Jersey Championship Wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Big Ass Extreme Birthday Bash was a great show from the Knights of Columbus in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, and unless I'm mistaken, they haven't done a show in that building for quite some time. Now, the show begins with the MC of the event, Effie. He comes out. Eventually, he's interrupted by Blake Christian, the Game Changer Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, and he claimed that it was also his birthday, and that prompted the crowd to chant, "Fuck your birthday." Well, nobody wants to do that to somebody's birthday, I'm sure. And Blake says, I'm going on first. And that, which led up to Blake Christian defending the Game Changer Wrestling GCW Heavyweight Championship against Beastman. In the beginning, Beastman was biting the balloons that were hung up outside the ring or above the ring. At one point, Beastman did a dive through the ropes to the floor, but landed mostly on security. Beastman put Blake in a chair, and he tried to go for a cannonball, but it turned out Blake was sitting on a security guy on the chair, and the security guy took the brunt of that. Blake used a chair. He also used a crutch. Beastman had an impressive cross body as he was bouncing off the ropes. Beastman was on the top rope. Blake caught him with a Death Valley driver, then hit a springboard 450 splash off the top rope, but Beastman kicked out. Blake attempts a sunset bomb off the top rope, but Beastman thwarted it by sitting on Blake's chest. Blake eventually hits Beastman in the balls and uses Beastman's bone, which I guess that's something the Moondogs used to do in the past, and used it as a weapon, and then hit a curb stomp and pinned Beastman, enabling Blake Christian to defeat Beastman, retaining the GCW Heavyweight Championship. Next was a singles matchup, which was scheduled to be Psycho Clown taking on Speedball Mike Bailey, but just days before the show was announced Psycho Clown was unable to be there, and instead we have Mao, spelled M-A-O. It's not like saying meow for some reason, like a cat would say, as he took on Speedball Mike Bailey. Early on, Bailey hit a second rope moonsault out to the floor. Then he suplexed Mao on the floor right by the curtain. Mao hit a tope con hilo off the stage. Then he did hit a top rope back in the ring, hit a top rope knee drop onto Bailey. Bailey came back with the speedball kicks, which Veda Scott called them, which I also call them, because obviously he must have some strong legs to do that. Those multiple kicks to the ribs and stuff. Bailey hit a standing shooting star press. Mao with a super kick, and then hit a moonsault. Mao with an ace crusher after jumping over the female referee Scarlett. She nearly got bumped into a few times, but then Mao accidentally hit a Yakuza kick on the ref Scarlett in the corner. Mao hit the cross-arm powerbomb, or as I call it, the crazy bomb that Super Crazy was known for, but no referee to count. Speedball hit a low blow and then tried for a DVD Death Valley driver, but Mao broke free, and he had lifted up Bailey and threw him like a human dart, or like a javelin, threw him through a door that was set up in the corner. Eventually, out came Yoshihiko, which is I don't know if that's a ragdoll wrestler, but it was a ragdoll dressed wearing a striped shirt, and there were moments where Yoshihiko was trying to make the 3 count, but Bailey and Mao kept kicking out. Bailey hit the knee salt, the moonsault with the double knees. Bailey eventually grabbed Yoshihiko and gives Yoshihiko a splash mountain, and Yoshihiko goes flying over the ropes, out of the ring, and pretty much past the crowd onto the commentary table. That's what Veda Scott had said, as she and Nick Knowledge were calling the action. Eventually, Ref Scarlett finally gets back in the ring. Mal hits Ultimo Weapon, which is some kind of a top rope move, but I think Bayley kicked out of that. And then Mal hits a Mishinoko Driver off the second rope, pins Speedball Mike Bailey to get the victory. Very good match by these two. Next up, we were scheduled to see a scramble match determine a number one contender to the JCW Championship, as we saw Ratty Daddy Cole Radrick versus Jack Cartwheel versus a different kind of boy, Jimmy Lloyd, versus Griffin McCoy versus Gringo Loco. It was going to be a six-way match, but a sixth person was going to be Starboy Charlie, but you'll find out later on why he was not in this matchup. Jack Cartwheel was telling everybody to do cartwheels. Radrick, Lloyd, McCoy, Gringo Loco, and even referee Gina did one, but Griffin McCoy refused. Jack did a cartwheel rana off the top rope onto Loco. Loco hit a spine buster on Jimmy Lloyd. There were multiple dives in this match. Big surprise in a scramble matchup. Everywhere, every promotion you go, you see. Cartwheel hit a rolling Death Valley driver on Radrick. Lloyd hit a dragon suplex on McCoy. McCoy ended up pinning Lloyd with a half and half suplex, followed by a jumping second rope kick that I think Cody Rhodes called it a disaster kick, and I think Low Key called it like the title crush, or I forgot what Low Key called it when he did that kick off the springboard off the second rope. And Griffin McCoy is now number one contender to the JCW Heavyweight Championship. The half and half, for those who don't know, it looks like McCoy took a hold of Jimmy Lloyd's arm like a chicken wing, and then put like a half Nelson and suplexed him. That's what the half and half suplex is, for anyone wondering out there. Next up was singles match, as we saw Billy Starks take on the bad boy, Joey Janela. Excuse me. Starks hit multiple kicks. She hit the gory bomb. It was a gory special into the gory bomb. Janela hit a super kick. Janela later on hit two super kicks, followed by the one-winged angel, but Starks kicked out of that. Janela hit a Death Valley driver on the apron, sick bump. Starks hit a... Starks with a dive through the ropes, catches Janela with a tornado DDT onto the chairs. She did back in the ring, did a swanton, and I believe, Janela kicked out of that. Starks hit a destroyer. Janela eventually hits a running knee and a package bio driver. I think Starks kicked out of that. Starks hit a tombstone pile driver. Janela kicked out of that. Janela with the heck? Sorry, I'm trying to read my handwriting here, folks. Oh, Janela hit a snap German suplexer. Shit. Oh, my eyes hurt me. Janela with a snap German suplex. Damn. Snap German suplex. Then they exchanged German suplexes, Janela and Starks. Starks hit 3 bicycle kicks in a row. Janela hit a lariato, and then dropped her with a burning hammer, enabling the bad boy Joey Janela to defeat the Space Jesus, Billy Starks. Very good matchup these two had. Next up was a Battle Bowl ring winners, as the 2022 Battle Bowl ring winner Joshua Bishop took on 2023 Battle Bowl winner Alec Price. Bishop attacked Price on the apron before the match got underway. Price was thrown into the chairs set up at ringside. Bishop power bombs. Did a power bomb off the apron onto the crowd. Or maybe that was security. I don't know. Bishop hit a last call slam through the door. For those who don't know, that was the late Scott Hall slam. Later, Bishop has a black hole slam on Alec Price. I love that move. What the heck? Damn. Oh, Bishop tried to go. Yeah, Bishop tried to put Price through another door, but Price moved out of the way. Bishop went crashing through the door, and then Price pinned him with a schoolboy, enabling him to, I guess, hold both Battle Bowl rings. Alec Price defeated Joshua Bishop, but after the match, Bishop attacks Price and choke slams him out. They go outside on the floor, choke slams Price onto a door that was set up on two chairs, and they said, and Bishop didn't give back his Battle Bowl ring, or maybe the 2023 Battle Bowl ring he stole from Alex Price some time ago. So I guess this issue is not over. Up next, it was time for the second annual Bunkhouse Stampede, which looks like that's going to be a tradition for JCW shows as the years go on. Last year was a crystal cowboy hat. This year's prize was a crystal cowboy boot trophy. It was very small, by the way. Now, among the first few participants to come to the ring were the young prodigy Marcus Mathers, Kaya McKenna, Yo-Ya, Too Hot Steve Scott, Bam Sullivan, Steve Off, Charlie Tiger, Brogan Finley, the Grim Reaper, one guy whose name I didn't get, I apologize for that, John Wayne Murdoch, the one called Manders, Los Macios, which is Sicope, I've got the other man's name, CPA, Charles Mason, Parrow, that's P-A-R-R-O-W. Actually, Undertaker's music starts playing, and it's Yoshihiko comes out, and somebody dressed all in a black mask and a black attire is holding on to Yoshihiko. And basically, I'm sorry, I'm not going to get to all the details in this match because it has so many participants, but among the items were used, somebody brought a pitchfork to the ring, I think there was a garden rake, Kaya McKenna brought a broom, someone brought a pizza slicer, dang it, I forget what else was used. Well, the end came, it was down to Manders, Mason, and Perro. Manders was thrown over the top rope. He was going to be hung again, much like Mason did at last year's Bunkhouse Stampede. But Joey Janela had come out, and he prevented Manders' feet from hitting the floor, and Janela actually pulled Perro out of the ring, getting him eliminated, and Perro chased Janela away from the ring, and Manders eventually hung Mason over the top rope, and then he hit the floor, enabling the one called Manders to win the second annual Bunkhouse Stampede, enabling him to win the prize, the trophy, which was a crystal boot. Now, what's next year's Bunkhouse Stampede prize going to be? A crystal spur? I know it ain't going to be a crystal horse unless it's a small crystal horse, but I doubt that. Okay. Next up was a women's matchup, as we saw the Kick Demon Janai Kai take on Utani Hayashishita. Say that name 3 times fast. I don't know if these two ladies faced each other for the first time, because it's like, I don't know, I just couldn't really, especially with this show going non-stop without intermission. Kai hit some Kawada kicks to Utani's back, or as they were called on commentary, the victim kicks. Kai put a dragon clutch on Dragon Clutch on Utani. Utani eventually won the match with a stalling German suplex to the bridge, and pinned Janai Kai to pick up the victory. And then it was time for the main event, which was a 6-man tag team match. It was scheduled to be East-West Connection, Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne, to team up with Lee Moriarty to take on the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, and Kushida, collectively known as the Time Splitters. Unfortunately, Chris Sabin they said his flight was canceled, so he couldn't make the show. And what they ended up doing, Moriarty ended up replacing Sabin, teaming with Shelley and Kushida, and replacing Moriarty to team with Oliver and Wayne was Starboy Charlie, who was supposed to be in the 6-way in the scramble match earlier in the show. I guess, that's what happens when things are last minute and such. Early going, Charlie hits a drop kick and a shooting star press on, I forgot who, all apologies. Kushida and Oliver were shoulder blocking each other. East-West Express were double team moves on Moriarty. There was a triple submission spots with 2 figure 4 leg locks and I think an abdominal stretch. Oliver took some punishment for some time. Charlie hit the sliced bread number 2 on Moriarty. The heck? Nick Wayne with the dragon suplex on Kushida. Jordan Oliver with the clout cutter. I think clout cutter on Moriarty. Oliver and Shelley had a chop fest in the ring. Shelley and Kushida hit shell shocks on both members of East-West Express, and Shelley, Moriarty, and Kushida applied the Border City stretch on all 3 of their opponents, and Starboy Charlie eventually tapped out. And after the match, Shelley took the microphone and said that Kushida has declared East-West Express and Starboy Charlie the new 3 Musketeers of wrestling. Eventually, Nick Gage comes out with a birthday cake, and most of the guys who wrestled earlier in the show, they're out there, and Gage was putting over everybody in GCW and JCW, and even Effie came back out, and I forgot. I don't know if they went off. I don't know if the feed went off too soon, because Effie was talking, and on the lower left corner of the screen it said JCW copyright 2023. So I don't know if they ran longer than expected, or they got cut off sooner than expected, or what the deal was. But a damn great show. Unfortunately, I wish I could have been there, but I wasn't going to pay to stand for 3 hours. Not with my aches and not with my bad knees. Fortunately, there was no announcement was made for the next JCW event. I don't know if it'll be a part of the GCW Homecoming weekend in Atlantic City in August. But I sure hope I can go to a JCW show live. My last the only JCW show I went to was Uncensored last September. I mean, I don't know if that's going to end up a yearly thing as well for JCW, which I hope, and I would hope to make it. But like I said, I don't know if JCW will have a show during the GCW Homecoming weekend in Atlantic City, or they'll wait till September to do something. But JCW never seems to disappoint. Great event this was.